Hey y'all, it's Megan from Made for Mermaids, and today we're working on the Wrenley pattern. In this video, I'm doing the full back dress version. I am using the youth pattern, but the steps are going to be the same for the adult. So you're going to need to cut two fronts, one main front and one lining, or if you're doing the adult version, a shelf bra. And then make sure you add the markings for your strap placement. You also need two backs, one main and one lining. And those are those little, I just do small little 1/8 inch snips. You could also mark with a pin or a clip. Then you need 4 strap pieces, 2 mirror images, and then you need 2 skirt pieces cut on the fold. Again, mark your notches, or if you're doing the pocket, make sure to mark the pocket placement. The first step is going to be sewing the straps together. So you're going to put them right sides together and sew along each side with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. If you're doing the maxi version and you're using a fabric that is a little bit lighter weight, you may want to add some clear elastic to this step just to give your straps a little bit more support. Then once they're sewn, you are going to flip them right side out and give them a nice press with your iron. Once your straps are pressed nicely, we are going to find the center of the strap by just folding them in half like this and placing a pin or clip. And then you're going to grab your front bodice and you're going to match that angle of the strap. You can see they're both facing towards the center, and you're going to match that center pin to the little snip or marking on your front bodice, just like this. And then you're going to baste the straps in place. Then you're going to do the exact same thing with the back bodice. So fold that strap you just basted in half again to find the center of the other side, and then grab your back bodice, and with the right side of the strap to the right side of the main back bodice, you're going to align that center clip with the strap placement snip or line that you marked, just like that, and then you will baste in place. If you want to, you can go ahead and baste these side seams and then try it on yourself or your model, so you can make sure the strap placement and the length of the strap is correct before moving on to the next steps. Next, you're going to take your front lining piece or front shelf bra piece, and you're going to place it right sides together with the main front piece. So your straps are going to be sandwiched between, and you're going to stitch them together along the top with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. After you stitch them together, you can press it and understitch the seam towards the lining like this, and just stitch right on top so the lining doesn't peek out. Then we're going to do the exact same thing with the back bodice. So grab the back bodice lining or shelf bra and place it right sides together with the main back bodice, and then sew them together along the top with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. And you can understitch that back lining and seam as well. Now we're going to move on to the side seams. So you're going to open up your main bodice and your lining bodice like this. You're going to lay the front out flat. Then you're going to open up the back main and lining pieces, and you're going to align the raw edges and the seam at the main and the lining, and you're going to stitch them together down the sides with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and then you will press the lining side toward the wrong side of the bodice. And you can baste the lining and the main pieces together along the bottom if you want. If you did the adult version and you added the shelf bra, you would add the shelf bra band and the optional enclosed elastic inside the shelf bra band now. Next, I'm going to go ahead and quarter my bodice so it's ready when I want to add the skirt. So I just match the side seams and then place a pin at the center front and the center back. And then I'm going to set my bodice aside while we work on the skirt. If you're adding pockets to your skirt, then you would add the pockets now. If you didn't, then you're going to take your front skirt and your back skirt and put them right sides together, aligning all the raw edges and the hem, and you're going to sew them together at the side with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Now it's time to attach the bodice to the skirt. So the bodice is quartered like we did earlier, and you can do the same to your skirt piece. Just match the side seams and mark the center front and back. I just threw some notches on my fold line, so I have the center front and back marked already. Now I'm going to flip the bodice inside out and put it over the skirt so the bodice and the skirt are right sides together, and I'm going to match the quarter points and pin, and this should fit perfectly together. You shouldn't have to stretch it. And then we're going to sew the bodice to the skirt with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Then pull the bodice right side out, and you can press and top stitch your seam if you like. The very last step is going to be to press the bottom hem of your skirt up 1/2 inch towards the wrong side, and then to edge stitch the skirt in place. And that's it. Your Wrenley is complete. This is such a quick sew, and there are so many options, which I hated myself doing the fabric requirements and finish measurements and line drawing for putting in so many options, but I just love them all. We would love to see them in our Facebook group or tag us on Instagram at Made for Mermaids. If you have any questions, leave them down below and I will try to answer. Thanks for watching. Bye.